It was a disease that paralyzed children, terrified parents, and halted entire cities. But out of fear came one of America's greatest public health campaigns, the March of Dimes. This is the story of how a nation came together to fight polio. Welcome to Historically Speaking, where we explore the stories that shaped our world. Today we're diving into the battle against polio, from a paralyzing epidemic to the miracle of the vaccine, and how the March of Dimes became a blueprint for modern health fundraising. Polio, or poliomyelitis, is a highly infectious viral disease that primarily affects children under 5. It spreads through contaminated water and food and can attack the nervous system, causing paralysis, sometimes in just hours. By the early 20th century, polio outbreaks became more frequent in the US, especially during summer. Pools were shut down, movie theaters emptied, parents lived in constant fear. In 1921, Franklin D. Roosevelt, then a rising star in American politics, contracted polio at age 39. The disease left him paralyzed from the waist down. Instead of retreating from public life, he became a symbol of resilience. He created the Warm Springs Foundation, a center for polio rehabilitation, and used his own battle to advocate for others. In 1938, FDR founded the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, later known as the March of Dimes. The idea? Let ordinary Americans fund medical research, one dime at a time. Radio host Eddie Cantor dubbed it the March of Dimes, a play on the popular newsreel March of Time. The name stuck, and the campaign exploded. Millions of children mailed in coins. Schools, churches, even movie theaters collected dimes. It was a grassroots fundraising revolution. The March of Dimes poured millions into research, funding scientists like Jonas Salk, who in 1955 developed the first effective polio vaccine. He refused to patent the vaccine. When asked who owned it, he famously said, "The people. There is no patent. Could you patent the sun?" Later, Albert Sabin would create an oral version of the vaccine, which became the primary method of prevention globally. The Salk vaccine rollout in 1955 was a nationwide event. Volunteers went door to door. Schools turned into vaccination sites. By 1960, polio cases in the US had dropped by over 90%. It was one of the greatest public health victories of the 20th century, and it wouldn't have been possible without the March of Dimes, powered by the pennies, nickels, and dimes of everyday people. With polio nearly eradicated in the US, the March of Dimes shifted focus to broader maternal and child health. Today they support NICUs, fund prematurity research, and advocate for healthy pregnancies, continuing their legacy of saving lives. Their model inspired countless other health campaigns, from cancer walks to AIDS awareness, showing what people can achieve when they unite for a cause. The fight against polio shows us that science alone isn't enough. We need trust, community, and public will. The March of Dimes turned a nation's fear into collective action and brought hope where there was once despair. In a world still facing health challenges, from new pandemics to chronic illness, the lessons of the March of Dimes are more relevant than ever. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by this story, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more stories of history and humanity, and let us know in the comments. What surprised you most about the fight against polio? And remember, it only took a dime to change the world. The King.